Hello, this is Peter Murphy, President and CEO of the Illinois Association of Park Districts. Today, we are presenting another video as part of our Legends video series. One of the missions of IAPD is to recognize outstanding park, forest preserve, and conservation district board members throughout the state of Illinois. I hope the knowledge and insights these great leaders provide will inspire you to continue to make a positive impact at your agency and in your community. Please enjoy.
Hello, I'm Wayne Utterback, Director of Communications and Digital Content for the Illinois Association of Park Districts, and I'm very excited today to be joined by Decatur Park District Commissioner Jack Kenny for the latest installment of IAPD's Legends video series. Jack, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Can you give me a little background on how long you've been serving the Decatur Park District?
Well, I can give you a little bit of background. I ran for the election to the Park Board in 1992 and was elected then in 93 and started at that point in about May of 93.
How would you define your experience with the Decatur Park District?
Well, as you know, that's been a while, and it's much better than I expected it to be. It's been great. The Park District does a great job, and it's my pleasure to be a part of it.
Now, what was your motivating factor for becoming a commissioner?
Well, I had been in the school district and retired and wanted to be part of something else, and it looked to me like this is something I would enjoy, and I really have.
You've served Decatur for quite a while. What would you say makes this park district special and makes it stand out?
Well, I think it has the interest of the community at heart and the people in the community, and from my experience now, it's been, about 25 or 6 years or something like that, and it has really been a pleasure. I think the employees of the Park District do a fantastic job, and it's just nice to be a part of that.
What keeps you engaged and involved today?
Well, there's lots of things going on in the Park District just in the last year or two, and I don't know how far you want to get into that, but you're probably aware of some of what's been going on down on the lakefront. The amphitheater and our swimming pool project. Some people might refer to it in other terms, but it's just been very exciting, and the parts that have been done and been used have been very well accepted in the community.
Going back to your role as commissioner, what is a good philosophy or philosophies you'd share with a new commissioner to help them be more successful?
Well, I think one thing, listen to the people in the community. Of course, get acquainted with the employees and to see how they're doing and what they're doing, and try not to be too critical, because sometimes you're critical and you're wrong.
For new commissioners, I'm sure there is a lot to learn, a lot to get used to, a lot to prepare them to step into that role. What is some advice you'd give to a new commissioner?
Well, I would say listen to what the employees are saying. Don't jump to any quick conclusions, because we have a lot of really, really top-notch employees, and it's been my pleasure to get acquainted with them over the years and find that they do a great job, and I would do well to support it and keep my mouth shut sometimes.
Looking at how park districts serve communities, do you think that park districts provide those services better than a city government could?
Well, I'd hate to make that judgment. I have to be careful what I say there, because I might offend some of the other forms of government within the community. But I think what we do well.
All right, throughout your time here as a commissioner, I'm sure you've met many incredible professionals who are at the top of their game. What are some key attributes that you have seen in staff members who really excel at their jobs?
In the staff members?
Yes.
Well, I think in the beginning, we had an attorney for a number of years, and he did a really nice job looking out for us and trying to keep us out of trouble, which we were occasionally would want to say and do things that were not appropriate, and he was very good. And the other person that we have in our group, so to speak, our executive director, has been here longer than I've been on the board, and he just does a great job, because it's easy to get crossways with people because they want you to do things that's not appropriate or that we can't afford, and he handles that very well. I couldn't ask for more from our executive director. Hope he doesn't hear this, by the way.
With more than 2 decades here at the Decatur Park District, what are some major challenges confronting today's park system, and how would you suggest resolving those challenges?
Well, we also have, as part of the park district, is the airport. And one of the controversies we have right at the moment is having air service to Chicago and air service to St. Louis. And as I see it at this point, I don't think we're going to have air service to St. Louis in the future. We do have now, but I think that's going to terminate here for too long.
Now, what opportunities do you see, potential opportunities that you could leverage or use?
To use? Well, I'll just finish that airport thing. I'm sure we're going to have large plane service into the Chicago airports, which some people wanted very much and we didn't have, where we had smaller planes. So that's one of the things I see it's coming up, and I think we're going to have some controversy with that, but we can't avoid it. The other thing, I mentioned earlier is the water facility out at Nelson Park, which we thought we were going to have in operation this year, and we've had some difficulties with that. But right now it looks like it's going to be really in good shape for this spring, and I think people are going to enjoy that because it's huge. It's got lots of features, and I think the community as a whole will enjoy it, and I think our kids, the younger folks, will enjoy it an awful lot. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we've had, for this past year now, the amphitheater, which has brought some really fine programs, and the acceptance by the community of that has just been phenomenal. I haven't talked with a person who has attended that, and the attendance sometimes was 1,500, 2,000 people, and they all are very, very complimentary about that facility. And it's kind of good on occasion to do something that's well accepted by the public.
Looking back on your service, what would you consider to be your major contribution to the field of parks and recreation?
Well, of course, I was a former high school coach, and so I've had some experience in that area, because we have softball fields and all kinds of activities. So you have some feel for what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. But frankly, I try to kind of stay back out of the way, because most of them do a good job, and all I can do is mess it up.
How would you like to be remembered as a commissioner here at the Decatur Park District?
Well, I'd like to be remembered as a person who stayed in there where they were supposed to be, and attempted to be present when I was supposed to be present, and help with the administration of the programs.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
That I've ever received? To marry my wife. We were married for 60 years, and she was very supportive of what I did, and it was very helpful after I retired from the school district for her to be kind of looking over my shoulder and say, well, you should do this or you shouldn't do that, Jack. And I'm serious about that. And our executive director, Bill Clevenger, was very good. He wasn't bashful about us and being in opposite directions sometimes, but I think that's not all bad. You don't want somebody that just goes along with everything they say and say, oh yeah, well, I didn't do that, but I thought things have gone very well in the 20-some years that I've been with it.
What advice would you give your 20-year-old self if you could talk to him?
Well, if I could talk to him, I would say don't try to get too bossy about what's going on, because there are 5 members, and if it comes down to a vote, you better have 2 more if you want something done.
What do you see as the benefits of park and recreation services? And are there any examples here in the Decatur Park District that you'd like to share with me?
Well, it seems like we do so much, it's hard to pick out one feature. I haven't mentioned much in the way of athletics. That we know we have a nice facility south here for softball, and it's well used, and both by males and females. The fields are heavily used, particularly in the evenings. Because a lot of the people using them are employed elsewhere, and then in the evenings they come and play night softball, and it's heavily used. They're good facilities. People seem to enjoy them, and it's something that we are proud of too. Now, we also have 2 nice golf courses, but they're heavily used in the daytime, and we don't get many criticisms there either, except the pricing. You just can't satisfy everybody. They want the best for not much.
Now, here's a fun question. If funds were unlimited, what would you like to see done for the Decatur Park District?
Well, if funds were unlimited, what would I like to see done? Well, frankly, I think we do just about everything that needs to be done. I don't have any criticisms. I would love to have those funds that are not limited, because it does restrict us some. We might do more with the zoo. I don't know. It's number 1 anyway. It's outstanding. So I think we do a pretty good job with what we have.
Now my final question for you. What is your vision for the future of parks and recreation in Illinois?
Oh, in Illinois?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I can speak for Illinois, but for us, I would like us to continue as we are. And as time goes by, there are things that need to be changed, and change them and improve them. But I'm not sure how much I would want to change what we're doing, because you have to look at what the income is, and not put too much pressure on the public to pay out more money.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you sitting and talking with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
This interview was part of the Illinois Association of Park Districts Legends video series. For more interviews, please visit us at our content-rich website at ilparks.org/legends. Also, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram for all the latest videos, resources, events, and more. Thank you so much for watching.